Hello and welcome to the Newsfeed Talk Show Edition. I'm Nicholas Rios.
And I'm Michael Alaknowitz. As we kick off October, Hispanic Heritage Month is actually coming to an end. Unlike other monthly celebrations, Hispanic Heritage Month started on September 15th and ends on October 15th. Today we are going to be talking with a couple of guests to better understand the contributions that Hispanic and Latino Americans bring to the United States. But first, the Newsfeed's Stephanie Campbell takes us around the Virginia Tech campus to see why the community thinks it's important to celebrate this month.
I'm asking Virginia Tech students who are and are not of Hispanic or Latinx heritage why they believe it's important to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month.
This country was built on immigrants from all over the world, and every piece of heritage is especially important to the creation of our country. Therefore, it's important to celebrate.
I'm just so proud to be part of that community, to bring change in this country, to see how our community, how we act as a family here, and how we contribute to others, we help out others, and we're just basically the same, but, come from a different place.
I feel like it's always important to raise just awareness of the history of people that are around us, so that we get a better sense of people's cultures and just what they're about and where they come from. I think that just helps us, coexist. So
honestly, so I'm Peruvian, so for me it's like remembering where I came from and just obviously I'm actually a first generation immigrant, so just to remember the culture, what I grew up in. I don't know, I think it's just one of those things just to reflect on and not forget where I originally came from. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Students of all ethnicities on Virginia Tech's campus appreciate the celebration of Hispanic heritage. Reporting from Blacksburg, I'm Stephanie Campbell.
Thanks for that, Stephanie. Students here at Virginia Tech are very open to celebrating the cultures of many people. Right now, we want to introduce Ariana Guevara, the treasurer of LatinLink, a Latinx organization here dedicated to celebrating Hispanic culture at Virginia Tech. How are you doing, Ariana?
Doing good. Thank you for having me here, Nicholas.
Awesome, thank you. So I just want you to expand a little bit upon the responsibilities you have with LatinLink.
Yeah, I'm LatinLink's treasurer for the 2019-2020 year. So I'm in charge of overseeing dues, anything we have to pay for, our cultural show, or any other events that LatinLink does. I oversee the payments and the money of that.
So how does LatinLink in of itself bring together members of the Hispanic community here at Virginia Tech?
So we do have GBMs, which is our general body meetings, every other week on Thursdays. And that's where we get most of our members to come and show and do little events. We play games, and we just really connect them through it. And throughout that GBM, we tell them what events we have coming up, how to sign up, and what they represent to our community.
Okay, and so just coming from Peru, how important do you think it is for Latin Americans to celebrate the culture of past Latin Americans that kind of helped grow the nation to where it is right now, especially like this time?
Mm-hmm. Independent from where you're from, I'm Peruvian, it's just very important to see how each culture has something in common and has helped us grow together and celebrating that. And we do that through Gala, which we had at the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month, which we usually have it at the end. But since we have a candidate for Homecoming Queen, we're ending our Heritage Month with that. So it just helps us bring together and realize how much we have in common and how much we can still grow from our culture. And it's just very important to celebrate and kind of be proud of where you're from. So, yeah.
Were you always so closely connected to your culture? What kind of influenced you to get involved in the Latin community, especially here at Virginia Tech?
I was always involved. I was born in Peru. I did a lot of culture shows back in Peru. I danced, I played cajon, which is a Peruvian instrument. So I did that for a very, very long time until I came to the U.S. Here at Tech, when I first came, I realized that our Hispanic community, or Latinx community, is actually pretty big compared to other minority communities. But yet we were so divided, and I feel like Latinx, and as well as our umbrella organization, which is LASO, we try to do a job, or a great job, uniting the community. And I think that's why I decided to join Lion Link and why I decided to join LASO is because we have such a great community. Why not bring it together and enjoy ourselves here at Tech?
Do you think, like you said, like you were very like proud how big the Hispanic community was here? Was that something you were kind of shocked at first, like when you first came here?
Yes, at first I was. I went to my first Lion X event, which was salsa, and I actually saw a lot of people, a lot of Hispanic students, and I was like, if they're here at salsa, that means that there's more. I was very surprised by the amount of students we have, and just how much love they have for their culture. So that really impacted me and influenced me to join a Lionx org and represent them.
I just have one more question here for you. Where do you want to see the Latinx community here at Tech when you graduate?
When I graduate, I really want our community to be represented on campus even more. Not a lot of people know that we have LASO that represents us. Not a lot of students know that we have Lion Link. Not a lot of students know that we have so many organizations just dedicated for the Lionx community, as well as we have a culture community center dedicated for the Lionx community. So I really want to spread out the word and to be a positive word, because sometimes that can be very challenging. So I really want to see us grow and hopefully increase our numbers in population.
What kind of different cultures did you see mixing here when you came to Tech? Because obviously you came from Peru, where I'm sure you're very ingrained within one culture, but how did the other cultures kind of integrate and kind of blossom here when you came here?
Between the Lionx community or different communities?
Yeah, just everything as a whole.
Okay. With the Lionx community itself, we have a lot of students from different countries. We have a lot of international students who come from Venezuela, Colombia, even Panama and stuff like that. So when they come here, we all have a different mentality. We all have different opinions, and the way we integrate it and the way we respect each other and the opinions that we have is it's very important, and it has helped us grow. It has helped us understand what's going on in Latin America, what is going on even in Spain, and that has helped us grow and make ourselves better each time and each semester when we have our meetings. So it really has helped us grow with the interchange of different cultures.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. Like, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
When we come back, we'll have a former Tech student here on the set to get his perspective. Stay with us.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey, Dad, I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Welcome back to the special talk show edition of the Newsfeed. Hispanic heritage has been a fixture of the Latinx community here in America since 1988. Newsfeed reporter Samantha Daly tells us more about the events happening here at Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech holds events for Hispanic Heritage Month to celebrate Latinx and Hispanic history. Student organizations like LASO hope to provide community at Virginia Tech by hosting events that provoke intellectual discussion about cultural community relations in society today.
The sense of talking to each other, to be on the same table, to be able to relate to others that you wouldn't otherwise do. Just being able to talk with people that are not in your close circle of friends it's amazing. And I'm saying it not just as a Latino, but also as an international student here in the US. I think that so much can be learned not just about other people, but also about yourself.
Dr. Desiree Poets, a political science professor and El Central coordinator, explains why it is more important now than ever to celebrate and recognize Hispanic and Latinx heritage.
In the current context of, this administration here in the US, there has been a lot of pushback against immigration, especially from Central and also South America, and that puts a lot of our community members at risk. So I think right now it's especially important for us to come to be a very strong community and to be there for our students who may directly or indirectly be affected by these changes in policy throughout the U.S.
You can find more information about Hispanic Heritage Month at Virginia Tech on the Cultural and Community Center's webpage. This is Samantha Daly reporting for the newsfeed.
Now with us is Ryan Waman. Ryan is a recent tech graduate who is involved with Hispanic organizations here on campus. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So just kind of tell us a little bit, what organizations were you with in your time here on campus?
So the main organization I was a part of was LatinLink, actually. And LatinLink is a great organization, and I met a lot of people that way, and it helped me actually throughout my college process.
How do you say it helped you throughout your college process?
So actually, when I came to Virginia Tech, it kind of, was overwhelming for me. The population, it's a big school, and I was actually considering dropping out. I didn't really find my people or my group, as some would say, but once I found out that, I had a community of fellow Latinos aspiring, the same career I was trying to do, it really helped me, and it really supported me emotionally, to continue with it. And I'm thankful for that because, I stuck with school and I graduated, and I'm very thankful.
What were some of the specific experiences that really helped drive those emotions to get you forward?
Just a sense of community and family. It's really hard, especially in a town like Blacksburg, to kind of see that kind of cultural family. It's a college town, so it's very different. But being able to have people support me and have similar backgrounds just kind of pushed me a little more. My family, was a little further away, about 4 or 5 hours, not too far, but far enough. So having that support close by just really helped me and pushed me forward.
Was there a moment when you came here, when you started joining this Latinx community, that you felt like, wow, I'm glad I'm a part of this community? I didn't know this was here for me.
So I actually heard about LatinLink when I went to my first salsa night, and that's every week on Wednesdays. But I found that out through members. I was just talking to people, and they were like, "Oh, come to LatinLink," and I eventually went, and I found that there are people like me, and that's kind of what sparked my interest and sparked me into going forward with school and everything else.
So overall, what would you say this month, Hispanic Heritage Month, means to you in particular?
To me, it's just a celebration of culture and tradition, especially celebrating, Hispanic academics. I feel like there's not a lot of talk about those in Latinx people in STEM or, just celebration of just the arts and everything that we have. And I think that Hispanic Heritage Month really is a moment to just celebrate and look back on all the successes we have.
And how important do you think that is? Especially in a college town like Blacksburg, we're so diverse. We have constantly new minority students coming in every year. How important do you think it is to continue celebrating these cultures and just watching this community grow?
I think it's really important just for people to be informed, and just informing people on everything that's going on is really important. Because at the end of the day, like I said, it's just about celebration and acknowledging what other people have contributed to the overall community, whether that be local or nationally or even international.
And how would you say, since your time coming here to now, how would you say that community has kind of grown?
I think it's grown a lot, actually. Yeah, we have a lot of, you don't have to be Hispanic or from a Latino background or Latinx background to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month or even be a part of these organizations. We're welcoming everyone and anyone who can come, and I think that's the main point. It's all about celebrating together and being just one big community.
Because Virginia Tech we are a community. We are all Hokies.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So Hispanic Heritage Month, it is a thing, celebrate Latinx culture, but it's also celebrate the diversity that we bring. How do you think we could go on continuing that? Not just with Latinx, but with other cultures?
I think just coming together and, you know, maybe like just celebrating just every other month or like every month that there is cultural celebration, acknowledging one another and not kind of pushing each other to, you know, a competition of, oh, this month's more important than others, but just celebrating together, being just one big family, like you said. I mean, that's what Hokie Nation is. And I think that really has developed over the years and has helped this community in general.
What are some things that people who maybe don't know as much about this month should know, or rather, what are some celebrations or events that they can get involved with to kind of understand the culture a little bit better?
So one thing that, one of my favorite like childhood memories is I watched a movie, it came out I think in 1990s. It was called Stand and Deliver. It was about a Bolivian American professor teaching high school students about calculus. And all these students passed the calculus exam with flying colors, and he was accused of rigging the test and falsifying, you know, test scores. So the students were then asked to take the test again. Keep in mind, these students came from Hispanic background and were assumed to fail the exam. But this movie really played an important part in my childhood because I'm now an aspiring and future educator. And I think it's important that us Latino men or Latinx men come out and, you know, teach. I think it's very important because, you know, those from underserved backgrounds or low socioeconomic backgrounds struggle to, you know, go through the college process or get a proper education. And I think it's important that we can connect with others like us and just support them through that process.
All right. So you just said you being an aspiring educator. In the future, what do you want to do, you personally, to help this community?
I would love to open up my own preschool in this community. I think affordable childcare is a huge issue in just America in general, but also Blacksburg. There's not a lot to be offered, and I think that I have a lot to offer for affordable childcare, as I said. And I think that being able to connect to those from similar backgrounds can really help progress, I guess, that issue.
And what kind of things do you hope to like implement in the people that you teach? Like what kind of beliefs, what kind of values do you want to see grow within people?
Well, absolutely the idea of just, you know, being bilingual, that language is okay, and that, you know, we all have different barriers. Also just, you know, coming from different perspectives, just teaching them that different perspectives are okay, and that, you know, we all have different issues, but it's okay to just move forward and have that support system behind them.
What is a goal you just want, like a younger Hispanic or Latino man or woman to try to like aspire to like complete? Like if they asked you for advice, what would you give to them?
I would probably say that, you know, there's no pressure. For me, I felt like there was a lot of pressure to either, you know, become an engineer or become, you know, some sort of scientist or something. Keep in mind, my family, they're all engineers, so I kind of had that pressure. But I feel like being Latino, there's that pressure to just, you know, be super successful or just, you know, being a STEM major. But everyone has different goals, different aspirations, and different passions. And I think that you just need to follow your passions, whatever they may be, and just be comfortable with that and tell your family that, and, you know, have your support system back you up as well.
And how are some other ways that people, you know, who aren't necessarily of the Hispanic, you know, origin, how can they better understand growing up your perspective? How would you say that to people?
I would say probably just, you know, stay informed. As I said previously, I think the biggest thing is that people who are informed about just like my culture, I'm Peruvian, but just Hispanic culture in general is really important. That definitely breaks down a lot of barriers or arguments that may happen, and that, yeah, I'm just stay informed. I think that's the biggest thing, really.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ryan. But when we come back, hear the final thoughts from our guests.
I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included and I knew that I was going to be okay.
Hey, Dad, I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh, Dad,
waters.
that's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
I'll be right back.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Welcome back to the news feed. Here with us are Ryan Waman and Ariana Guevara. We're going to wrap up here at the end of our show. We'll start with you here, Ariana. You know, if someone watching right now was not that aware of Hispanic Heritage Month or Hispanic culture in general, what is one thing you'd want them to kind of take away from this show?
One thing that they can take away is that even though it is Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th to October 15th, it's really important for them to know that anyone can celebrate it. You don't have to be, like Ryan said, you don't have to be part of the Latinx community to come and enjoy or celebrate our culture, but just anyone can come and integrate different cultures into it. And that our traditions and our cultures are still going to be celebrated all throughout, so that's very important, and how united it makes us. I think that's one takeaway I would like people to get from this show.
What about you, Ryan? What is one takeaway you would like someone to just get from this show?
Well, I just want to agree with Ariana. I think that's a very valid point, you know. As I stated before, you know, everyone can celebrate, and that I think it's just important that people are informed on, you know, what Hispanics have also contributed to just society in general. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Ariana, we asked this to Ryan earlier, but what is just one goal you would hope that if someone, like a little Latino kid, man or woman, came up to you and asked for advice, what would you give to them?
I would say never give up. You know, our Latinx community has been through a lot in the recent past years. So I think always pursuing your dream, I think, you know, and I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Pursuit of Happiness.
Great
but
movie.
Great movie,
Great,
right?
absolutely.
That's a great actor. I love that man.
But it has a really inspiring message behind it, and I think everyone, not just including the Latinx community, should have that message in. And just never give up, chase your dream, and you know, we're always going to be here for you. If you need help, you can always ask. And as part of the Latinx community, I would never say no to helping somebody else. And I think the same goes with any Latinx student here on campus. So I would for sure tell the little kid that.
Well, I mean, guys, like, as we've talked this entire show about how this community is growing, just how excited are you to just see in the future, like when you come back, let's say in 20 years, to maybe like a Latin Link like gathering? Like, how excited are you to see how that organization would have grown?
If I may start, I'd actually very, very excited. My brother, who is also a graduate from Virginia Tech, his roommate was actually one of the founders of Latin Link. And even him just coming back and seeing how big we are now and just how much has grown, how much has changed, how involved we are just on campus, it's a lot and it means a lot. And just seeing that growth in such short time, being able to see it in 20 years where we'll be like that, then is really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And Ariana, we know that Hispanic Heritage Month is coming to an end,
yes.
But in the future, what are some events that maybe people who don't know about Latin Link, what are some events that they should come out to just to kind of get a glimpse or maybe get involved with?
I would for sure say Gala. Even though we celebrate Gala at the end of October, on October, around October 10th to October 15th, that's really when we all come together and we enjoy our culture. Another event from there is just any talks that we have all throughout the month. We inform students of what's going on in different countries. We inform of how our colors can affect how people treat us as well, and understanding that it's very helpful. And yeah, but any event that we do throughout the month is very important, and so I would tell them to actually come to any. But if they have to pick one, I would say gala.
And Ryan, I just want to wrap this up. Like, what is something that you really look forward to seeing as you advance in your like educational career? How do you want to see this Latinx community just evolve?
Definitely more Latinx youth just pursuing education. I think that, I mean, it's statistically known that there's fewer Latinx youth going to college, and other students as well, underserved youth. And I think that being like as an educator, just seeing that growth, seeing that increased rate in college enrollment is very crucial and something that would mean a lot to me. And being able to, like I said, connect with those kind of students and just push them to grow and enroll would mean a lot to me.
And this is an open-ended question, I guess, for really either one of you. How do you see this month kind of impacting the United States nation as a whole? Really, that's a question for either one of you.
As a whole, I feel like we should first start how it's impacting us as a community. We have our very first Latinx queen candidate for homecoming this year, and that's a very that should impact everyone. You know, we haven't had a Latinx candidate represent the Latinx community in all these years, and to finally have one is great. And we can finally feel more connected, more at home, since we have a representation on homecoming week, which is the biggest week of football season.
Of course.
So just starting there, how much we have grown and how it's going to impact the Latinx community, but also how it's going to impact campus, how it's going to impact Virginia Tech now that they know that we're here and we're here to stay. And that can just carry out throughout other campuses around the U.S. There's many campuses who most likely don't have a really strong Latinx community. So for them to hear and then from them to see how Lion Ling has grown so much to have a representative on homecoming can actually contribute to or influence them to want to grow even more. And just the way we can connect with them as well. One of Lion Ling's event that was about 2-3 weeks ago, we actually united with Radford. So that was pretty cool. That both Latinx communities got together and did an event. Just help us unite the community, and that even though it might not seem a lot, it is a lot. It's helping us bring another college, another point of view into our campus. So I think that's how it's going to change.
Well, awesome. We just want to say thank you so much for being here with us, guys. Really appreciate what you guys have done for the Latinx community, and we're just so thankful. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you to our guests once again. That will wrap up this special edition of the news feed. Joining us today were Ariana and Ryan.
If you have a story idea or even a talk show idea for the newsfeed, let us know. Send us an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. And as always, you can connect with us, the newsfeed, on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching. I'm Nicholas Reyes.
And I'm Michael Alaknowitz.